Retail was 200, and I would say like average resale price is probably like around 800, 850.
Eminem 4, it's $30,000.
The undefeated Jordan 4, it's $19,000.
I have a guy.
You have a guy.
I have a guy.
Like
I have an actual guy.
There's a kind of competitive drive in this too, and that's just getting your hands on something that other people can't.
There's two sides of resale. I'm the street. If there's a release going, I'm the guy where you can get it from quick.
Step back!
You know, living in New York City, the average sneaker line could be anywhere from 100 people to 1,000 people.
Sneakers, both the passion and the marketplace, are bigger today than they've ever been. Our journey into the crazy world of sneakerheads.
We're at Flight Club in New York City, the center of the resale economy, and we're in the center of the center in their showcase, a tiny room with several hundred sneakers worth over $100,000.
This 11-year-old Soho shop is known worldwide. In the sneaker economy, everyone's tracking the latest sneaker drops, happening nearly every week. The hottest of these new releases are snapped up and immediately resold here.
I think by far the most popular franchise is Jordan. Everyone comes in here like asking for them. Like that's probably like the shoe that, or the line that started the entire craze.
I got into sneakers by athletes. There was the Andre Agassi's, it was the Bo Jacksons and the Michael Jordans in particular. The products were amazing, but it was also the stories, the irreverence of these athletes.
Nike continues to release updated versions of Jordan classics. So far, Nike and its competitors carefully control supply and demand, but don't reap the rewards of the resale mania.
You'll see that every Jordan is in every sequential order. 1s, 2s, 3s.
4s, the
5s,
5s.
6s, 7s, 8s, you name it, we got it. This is our inspiration wall.
Is this an original?
That is an original Jordan.
I shouldn't be touching it, should I?
No, go ahead, touch away. It's an ode to the beginning.
Here and in other resale shops, you can only buy and sell so-called dead stock, unworn and perfect pairs only.
What's behind the glass here? What is this?
That's some of the most coveted sneakers you probably ever want.
Is there some kind of like James Bond security system built into this
There
glass?
definitely is some James Bond security system built behind this glass. If you're in there, no one can hear you scream.
Are there any stories that you remember of somebody being the happiest?
I remember there was a woman who, she must have been everywhere and couldn't get her pair. And she was literally crying. She was waiting for us to open. She couldn't believe we had her size. Searching for stuff and not finding it, that's what we do, man. We make sure you find what you're looking for.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoes.
There's a lot of shoes.
Lex Sadler, a music producer from Australia, has lived in New York for over a decade, lining his walls with his prized possessions. He's all about the Jordans and the popular Yeezys from Kanye West, which, as dead stock, can fetch thousands of dollars a pair.
If you can guess, how much would you say your entire collection is worth?
It'd have to be like, you know, maybe 20,000 at least.
Yeah.
But Lex wears his sneakers. For him, it's a passion that dates back to his youth.
Is there a sneaker from your past or from your childhood that you think about now as the one that got away?
And the one that I lost was a pair of Nike Air Raid, which was a basketball shoe. They had the crossover straps. I couldn't find them one day and I hit the local basketball courts and a kid was wearing a pair of these shoes. And I'm like, dude, they're my shoes. And he's like, no, my sister got them for me. I said, I know they're mine. I later found that my mother sold them at a yard sale for $2. So I was very mad about that.
Nike and its competitors sell new releases at retail stores like Foot Locker and other stores where lines snake around the block.
You have to know someone that can get them. In the internet age, everyone knows every website where every shoe is going to release and exactly what time. Your chances of getting like a limited shoe through conventional means are like very, very difficult.
If you want a pair of a new release that's worth something.
I have a guy.
You have a guy.
I have an actual guy.
You have an actual guy.
My broker.
Your broker.
And I drop him a text message and I ask him if he knows anyone that has a pair that's willing to sell a pair, and we negotiate that.
Where do you fit into that world of resale?
I'm the street. If there's a release going, I'm the guy where you can get it from quick. And you know, it's always a little bit cheaper to buy it from me than it is to go to Flight Club, but when you're on the street, it has to be a relationship. It has to be a genuine relationship to, like, I'm your personal shopper to an extent.
You're that guy?
Yeah.
So when there's a sneaker drop, do you also wait in line?
I maybe pay my friends like $10 an hour to wait online, or maybe even a little bit more. It depends on how much money I can make off these shoes. I worked in Foot Locker, so I would know who got what. I would know how many pairs are being distributed. amongst New York City and what stores aren't going to be the stores they go to. And with that knowledge, that's something that I should charge for.
How much money do you think you've made in total over the last couple of years that you started?
I would say anywhere between maybe 100 grand to maybe 200 grand. Yeah. I've been able to survive without having a job for, you know, a little 2 to 3 years.
I gotta go to Kif and see what they got.
It'll be easy. You already know.
Another guy making a killing is Jason Hart, an actor who is virtually a pro consigner.
How did you get into consigning?
Brought a pair of shoes here one day and it sold in, I don't know, 3 hours, and I was $200 richer than when I first bought the shoes. The first thing that perked my interest though was not so much selling it as actually acquiring it.
The more difficult it is to get a pair of sneakers, the more interested you are? Or is that like a challenge?
Absolutely, 100%. I will prepare to get a shoe depending on how it's being released, sometimes for a month. I have access to things coming through my phone. Probably 30 messages came through in the time that I've sat down here about a shoe. I source with social media. I post to nothing. First rule was talk to me about Twitter. Listen, don't speak. Made a lot of money doing that.
How much money have you made?
It's in the 6 figures.
In Brownsville, Brooklyn, at this middle school, Fresco Wilson is actually teaching a class on the sneaker economy to kids, the #1 consumers.
Why not teach them about what they're getting into before they get into it? So instead of them just going out to spend their money on the retail, why not invest in Nike? Why not invest in Adidas? I try to give them some facets of math, but ties into entrepreneurship and finance and marketing. Do any of you guys own a pair of Nike Dunks? The Nike Dunk was originally created for basketball with a campaign called Be True to Your School.
When we first heard about it, we was like a sneaker class. Like, what are we gonna learn about sneakers? We already know like when sneakers come out and stuff. But now that we're in the class, we learn how to make money off our sneakers, how to produce our sneakers in different ways. We learned about the backstory of the sneakers.
It turns out sneakers from superstar Steph Curry sell out at retail and are powering Under Armour's profits. But they don't even figure into today's hot resale market, at least not yet.
And someone said that Michael Jordan shoes weren't as popular back then as they are now. Why can't that be Steph Curry in the future? If his shoes aren't that popular now, like you said, why can't it be him in the future?
It's about knowing how to value the investment.
My father, he has every pair of sneakers now. My father is a sneakerhead. His closet, he has a walk-in closet and it's just a whole bunch of sneakers. Like he'll buy a sneaker and he'll sell it for a higher price. He won't even touch it. You could love sneakers, but you gotta know what you want sneakers for.
Just down the block from Flight Club is Stadium Goods, an upstart capitalizing on the resale industry going digital.
We partnered with eBay, where we've put all of our inventory. Another partnership we have is with a sneaker app called GOAT. It's another big marketplace for us as well. Most of our inventory is there, and we've seen that become a huge driver of the business as well.
Everything that I was about for the majority of the 90s was the Air Max 1, Air Max 90, the Air Max 95. This guy right here, this is the Air Max Classic BW. I won't say it, but I can remember exactly what I was doing when I was wearing these back in 91 or something.
How many pairs of sneakers do you think you have?
About 25,000.
25,000. This must be one of the world's largest sneaker closets.
Yeah, I would bet.
We're opening up a warehouse to continuously never say no to sneakers. If you want to bring in 100 pairs, we'll say yes. If you want to bring in 1,000 pairs, we'll say yes. I see the future of sneakers being very, very bright. This future of resale of sneakers, also very, very bright.